Okay, so we're back, and we had some constructive criticism from the first time. Some people liked it. Some people gave us some ideas. I refused those ideas. I argued really hard that we should just use the laptop microphone for this one.
Stick it to them.
Yeah, because this is America.
We are moving on. I've got some things ordered from the internet, so we're going to be getting some microphones for each of us. We're going to be handling this shit.
We'll be professionaler.
No, I will not stop with the water pipe. Not going to do it.
You don't fucks with tradition.
Don't fucks with tradition, and it's tradition now.
Also, after this podcast, I should have it set up where you can find us on other podcast apps, and you don't have to just use YouTube. I mean, we don't have a video component to this.
Yeah.
I thought about bringing the webcam and setting it up, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just me and you sitting here talking.
Nobody needs to see this.
I mean, it's just...
Nobody needs to see this.
That's right. Nobody really wants to.
I don't think nobody needs to hear it either.
Turn it off right now.
Yeah.
Please unsubscribe.
Hashtag cancel Chace and Hunter.
Exactly. Like there's not enough room in the world for this. This is an oversaturated market, and we said me too.
What is it? All those like hyper liberal articles like, do we really need to hear from Hunter and Chace right now?
What do these two cisgendered white males have to offer America?
Right. Well, I saw something.
The answer is dick and fart jokes.
Dick and fart. South Park got hit with an article like that. They did the pandemic special. There was this whole like, do we really need to hear from Matt Stone and Trey Parker right now? And the answer is we never did. But I want to. Like, let me hear this shit. These guys are fucking hilarious. Let me hear this shit. So I like to think that we're the Matt Stone, Trey Parker of amateur podcasts.
Kind of. I mean, we have, as you'll notice, we have a fancy new title card that we made ourselves, and
Chace made.
It is even.
I'd love to take credit for that. But
it is even worse than shittily strung together construction paper cartoons. It is something made in Microsoft Paint in like 5 minutes.
That's the fucking charm, though. That's my whole, like, for me personally, that's my whole thing. That's my charm. That's my source of charisma. That's the essence of Hunter, is just this shittily, poorly glued together hodgepodge of bad ideas and terrible habits.
Thrown into the ether for
anyone. Smeared across all of existence.
Shoved into other people's faces, even.
Oh, yeah, so today's topic.
We
talking about cunt.
I'll just sit down and just go, we're going to talk about cunt.
And caulk.
Caulk.
We're talking caulk and cunt. Talking fucking. We're talking sex. We're having the talk.
Sexual congress, sexual intercourse for babies and for not.
Right.
All encompassing here.
Reproductive and pleasure.
If you get pleasure from sticking something somewhere, we have very little experience on that spectrum. But we'll talk about what we know.
Right, that is kind of a weird thing. I was thinking about that going into this. I was like, I don't have, like, just gobs of... Like, I'm a vanilla motherfucker, dude. Like, when 50 Shades of Grey came out, I was terrified. Because I was like, that's what women want? Because I don't do any of those things. Like, I'm not rich or a psychopath. I have no desire to do these things to a woman.
I was screaming that they didn't want that either, though. Because from the get-go, I was like, listen... Of course, if the guy is going to get you on an airplane and take you to Paris, but guess what? If he worked at Walmart and was going to take you to get a corn dog, no, that turns into assault really quick when there's no money involved.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey changes really quick whenever you put it in a trailer house with a ping pong paddle and a caulk gun. You know, like the whole dynamic of that story just changes. 50 Shades of
It goes from taboo and risque exploration to
just sort of a bummer.
Disgusting freaks. Oh, Missy and Bobby back there. Don't go back to their house once the sun goes down.
They break out the Juggalo paint.
Shit gets weird.
The sex swing, and that thing ain't sturdy. Oh shit, man! Have you ever used any props in the bedroom?
Props?
Yeah,
none
like
of
sex swing, or maybe not, like a dildo, vibrator, fleshlight.
I mean, I've had used dildos on chicks because they were into it.
Right?
It's like that's whatever you want.
Who provided?
That's cool. She did. I mean, I don't have some that I can use.
Right.
Because I don't use them. They have them. Like, oh, you want that? Okay, sure.
Yeah, you got.
I did find a sex swing back when I was still living at home, and there was this one point where it was me and my mom and my then girlfriend and my sister and her husband. I think they were married at that point, but I remember going into her room to look for something, and in her closet I found a sex swing.
Ooh.
And I was just giggling. Like, this is amazing.
You found your sister's sex swing?
It was a box that said sex swing. It wasn't like set up.
No, anything could have come in that.
Anything
could have come in that.
It was like Christmas when you get a kid opens a big box and you think it's like a Super Nintendo and it's like a boot box with a bunch of sweaters in it. And they're just, oh man, that is, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, I found that. I've never had anyone try to integrate anything beyond like, hey, would you want to use one of my toys on me? So no, not really. I mean, what have you run across? Anything?
What I was just thinking, like, you really got, God bless America, dude. This is
professional.
This is so professional. It's my kid. I'm not going to ignore my kid.
Listen, you're gonna have to blacklist that kid. The kid is keeping us off Spotify.
Right.
Anyway, there was a time someone brought up the idea of her having a strap on, and I was like,
whoa,
no,
getting pegged.
No,
getting pegged.
No, put the kibosh on that real quick. Then I was berated for being like, I guess repressed. And I was like, you better believe it, bitch.
What? Not wanting to get railed in the ass by a 12-inch length of PVC is like, that's not repressed. That's just, at that point, that's just preference,
right?
You know, like, repressed is like when you cried before, during, and after, or any of the above. You know, while you're banging, you know, that's there's some serious repression going on there. Or, you know, but whenever you're just not wanting to get fucked in the ass. Like, I know many girls that very openly, very candidly and openly do not want to get fucked in the ass. And yes. I don't fucking blame them. Because I don't want to get fucked in the ass either. It's not my bad. If you like getting fucked in the ass, go fucking nuts, man. There's a letter in the alphabet for you. That's awesome. But don't don't just expect that. Not everybody's into getting fucked in the ass,
right? It's not for everybody.
Speaking of things that people are into, well, I just wanted to note, if a dude, like, if you're into the toys and stuff, and a dude comes to your place and he brings his own toys to use on you, you beware of that dude.
Yeah, that's,
like, you don't know if he washed up or not. But,
always use your own toys.
Yeah.
You know where they've been.
Yeah.
And I would go as far to say that unless the guy mentioned this and you were like, hey, that's cool. But if a guy just brought his own stuff, that seems incredibly sus.
It seems presumptuous.
Yeah.
Well, what if you have that conversation beforehand and he's just excited and goes out and buys it, runs up to Venus and buys a bunch of shit? You know, like, it's still in the wrapper. And
okay, that's like what I was going to ask. Is it still in the package?
Yeah, if it's still in the package, that's probably cool. Like, you probably want to run it through a dishwasher beforehand anyways.
Yeah.
I would.
Kind of like washing a pair of pants before you actually wear them.
Exactly. I wash my shirts before I wear them, man. I don't know who tried that shit on. Imagine.
Exactly.
I don't know if somebody test rode that Sibian. Is it a Sibian? Is that what they're called? The Sibian? They're like a little saddle with a...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like Sibian. I think they're called Sibians, but you know, like, so it's like a saddle and it's got like a little thing on the top of it that vibrates super hard, and like you can hop up on top of that thing, and if you have a vagina, it tickles your clitoris.
See,
I guess I don't fucking know. I don't know.
I've never heard of it.
Nor a clit.
We talk about being vanilla. I mean, I guess I'm vanilla when it comes to the library of toys that are available.
I did some research.
I didn't do
Been doing research since I was like 13. Been doing years of research.
I mean, I've been in a sex store like twice, but
I don't think I've ever gone in a sex store. That's repressed.
It was interesting, but I don't know. It was the same way. It's kind of like a culture shock to see people so casually like just browsing porno DVDs and asking questions about dildos and products. It's like I just feel like, do they say that, like, what kind of mouthfeel does it have?
I'm really intimidated. But like I'm not like I'm open to the like in the bedroom, like I'm open. Like, if my wife came in and she was like, hey, let's try this out. Like, I'm open to try whatever out. Like, I love my wife, want to make her happy, you know, and I'm a bit of a pleaser, you know, so I would imagine I would do that. And in the past have been like that, you know, pretty open-minded towards whatever sexual experience is on the table. Down for that. But I'm really intimidated by going into a sex shop because because everybody else in there, they so confident, they just fucking march right up to.
It's like going into Starbucks or something for them.
Yeah, I'm intimidated by Starbucks.
Right? They're just like, I'm gonna swing by the dildo store on the way home, right? See if they've got the 2020s in.
Swing by the dick shop, see if they got my new 12-inch in. The dragon.
I gotta go pick up my pre-order for my dildo.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Sex is a weird. It's a weird thing. I mean, there's so many industries up around that.
We're gonna talk it out.
We're gonna talk it out.
No, I've had I had this one girlfriend, and she was shocking in a lot of ways, but she had this chest of sex toys. It was like a treasure chest, like full of sex toys. And like there was one time she was like, "Hey, grab my vibrator," and I was like, "Okay, where is it?" She was like, "It's in that chest over there." So I opened this chest up, and I went, "Oh my god!" This is what I gotta compete with. All these fucking robots. All these goddamn robots in here. Little gadgets and gizmos and doohickeys and, you know, whistle do, whistle don'ts. Just fucking, it was a chest of pleasure. And, like, I was dumbfounded. Like, I didn't even know what to do with all this shit. Like, that was my first time to even, like, ever try to use a vibrator on a girl. And, like, I didn't even know really what to do with that. Like,
you just like,
stick it in, turn it on?
What do I do with my hands?
Right. What do I do now?
Just leave it there? You know, do I...
The one hole I'm accustomed to is now plugged. What do I do?
Okay. You want me to stand back and watch? Do you want me to do it? Do you want to... You have different settings on that thing? Do you have something for me to use while you're doing that? I don't know the rules. What are the rules?
Right. Where's the instruction manual?
Exactly. No, it's... Putting yourself in a weird situation like that, it's especially with something when you're that open with someone, you're really like burying yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's a vulnerable spot to put yourself in, both physically and mentally. You know?
And you don't want to seem stupid. You don't want to seem like a dork. You don't want to get caught off guard. You already got your pants down,
right?
And it's like, what do you do? And
then, like I said, I'm already vulnerable. Like my dick and balls are out, my clothes are off.
Right, you've gotten to the point where you're confident enough to be naked with this person.
I'm hunched over like a naked Indiana Jones rummaging through a chest of pussy pleasures.
You've got all of these performance-enhancing devices, and all I've got is... I've got hip grease.
I've got willpower and a twinkle in my eye.
You got a can-do attitude.
Can-do attitude.
Drive to not overdo it too quickly.
I don't know what to... like I said, I'm vanilla. It's not... there was no... there wasn't like me growing up, like there wasn't like a whole lot of air quotes sexual openness. I don't know what the proper term for that is. But
right.
You know, we're Southern Baptists. We didn't talk about that shit.
I would imagine most people from when we were kids didn't, and from where we grew up, they didn't have that type of discussion.
I'm also curious, like, are there parents that have the dildo conversation with their kids?
I feel like nowadays there probably are. I mean,
probably.
I think there probably are. Because kids are a lot, I feel like they're a lot more likely to be exposed to that. Because back when I was a kid, you always
secret.
Well, you always knew that one kid in class who like had found some porn,
right?
And sometimes it would be,
but it was
just a Playboy. Sometimes it would be like an actual like porno movie.
Yeah, but you would see like
and you'd hear tales, kind of like you would hear this. You had all this like whispers of how things worked, like there were just rumors until you saw them.
My experience, like growing up with, like I guess what I considered like a, let's call it material. It was like Victoria's Secrets or like a JCPenney swimsuit catalog.
Oh yeah,
you know, shit like that. And then once I got a little older, there was came across like some Playboy magazines. I got to see some naked titties, some bare boobs, and you'd see a little some trim every now and then, but not a whole lot. There was no I didn't know. Like, and now they're growing up and it's like fuck machines and
right
gonzo porn and every goddamn thing is about a fucking step parent. What in the holy fuck? What in the shit?
I don't know what brought that on, but I've seen that too. You go to like the front page of Pornhub, it's like popular in America today. It's like brother rails sister.
Yeah.
Like hardcore.
Stepsister tricks me into eating her bucks. It's like, I don't know how the fuck you trick somebody into that, but she done it. I watched
Mom got stuck under bed.
Fucked her raw. Stuck under bed. Holy shit. Those are like my favorite. Because it's like, they're so obviously like they're not stuck.
That
Stuck.
feels like the weird like modern equivalent of like the fucking pizza guy. It's like Mom got stuck under the bed. Like, oh, as opposed to like your pizza's here.
Well, the weird thing about
how do you like
stuck under the bed is like it's like a weird sort of rape fantasy. Like mom's stuck in the dishwasher. I get to smash puss.
Right?
You know? And Mom's always at first like, what are you doing? This is wrong. Don't do that. And then by the end of it, she's like, come on my face.
Right?
Your daddy ain't home yet. Come on my face.
And it just...
That's some weird that's gotta be like our that's gotta be our youth, man. That's gotta be a bunch of Zoomers doing that shit, fucking up our algorithm. You know, that's
I don't know.
It's gotta be.
I have no clue.
It's gotta be kids. I talk to people my age, and I have not gotten a one that's been like, yeah, I'm into stepmoms. Totally into stepmom porn. Or
I don't know, dude.
Whatever.
It's like...
And it doesn't matter. Like, once you get past, like, nobody watches the intro anyways. Or I don't. There might be some real intellectual types. Some real, like, dudes that are real
Dude, I'm so to the point that it's like, I don't even... when I watch porn, it's like, I have certain things I look for, and I skip to that. It's like, I don't want to listen to you guys talk it out. I don't...
Right.
You guys discuss what's going on. It's like sometimes I don't even want to see you foreplay. I just want to see you get to smashing blocks.
Right. Just get
to
business to like the 3/4 mark.
Yeah.
Where it's really just some railing going on. Like, just let me see that.
But I mean, it was a lot. It's a lot easier.
Some dudes are real, like, I guess they're really like cerebral with their masturbation. They're like, they need to build up the story. They need to know, like, you know, how did Mom get stuck under the bed? You know?
Why was she there in the first place?
Oh, comic books under his bed? Timmy. Told you to put these up. These aren't comic books.
What?
Surprise, Mama.
For some reason, I'm wearing a skirt and I have no underwear on. and they just happen to just flop up. But Jesus, yeah, I don't know.
That's a weird one. You don't like the thing is like that should be an obvious taboo, but it's like you said, like it's on the front page, like as soon as you log on, bam, the home page.
You think that would be something tucked way down deep? And I remember seeing like a few years ago, I used to see this shit in like manga and anime a lot, and it wasn't for not even for like weird porn type versions of that. It would be just here's a story, and for some reason there's this weird like brother sister like sexual tension constantly, but there's never any kind of like explicit stuff in these shows. It's a show about like dudes casting magic and shit and fighting monsters. But there's this weird...
in the background.
For some reason, there's a subplot of like, Oni-chan, I need you. But I just thought it was weird Japanese shit, and then, it cropped up here in porn on the front page.
I mean, K-pop made it here.
K-pop
why
did
not,
that.
Why not Eastern fetishes?
Right.
Why not?
So now women are just going to start looking like they're crying whenever you're having sex with them.
Oh my God! Like I could do without that part. Like I can like.
I think that ruined my whole.
Let me get this out there. I think Asian women are fucking beautiful.
Yes,
gorgeous. Keep your box hairy, girl. Like give me that hairy muff. I'm fine with that. Do it. But you bitches gotta quit crying while you're having sex.
They look like they're being raped.
I know it's so
and it's so uncomfortable.
It's
like you're so gorgeous. I can't watch this anymore because you look like you're being tortured, and they're having missionary sex.
Right? Just starfishing. Just
right.
They don't. Oh God.
That's a cultural divide.
It's a massive cultural divide. They differ over there. Yeah, I don't know.
When did you watch like your first porno? Like a real porno, because I remember we got like satellite.
Okay,
when I was a kid,
remember this,
and we had like Cinemax and stuff like that. And that's when I was like, oh, you can see softcore porn all the time.
Yeah.
And then I remember the first time I saw like a hardcore porn, it was just like
mind blowing. Yeah, they left a lot out.
Yeah,
they left a lot out, man.
But when was the first time you saw one?
I don't remember how old it was. I think I must have been around like 11 or 12, maybe something like that. But the first porn I saw was a hardcore porn.
Oh, really?
The very first time I went from J.C. Penney's like summer collection, right from that right off into this staticky like between channels thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
That shit. And like some lady with a perm just fucking blowing the shit out of this enormous cock. Like, this dude's dick was as big as my whole fucking arm. My 11-year-old arm, like. And, he was like, it was like to the shoulder, like shoulder blade and all. Like, just a massive dick. And I remember thinking, like, where does it all go? Like, it must be just bending up in there or something. And, like, it kind of freaked me out. And, then they got to the fucking part and stuff. And I remember, like, I saw this and it was just like, I remember I was almost like I was taking notes on this shit. Like, that's how that fucking works. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Like, I don't remember being turned on or anything. Like, I was just some of my buddies in a room.
Right.
And it was almost like classes in session, We're all
just fascinated by it.
Like, oh, cool. Did you see that?
She really liked that.
Right.
I think that was kind of how it was when I saw it, too. But I found, like, a VHS tape in a cabinet in our house.
Nice.
It was up at the top, and it was a cabinet that wasn't where like food or anything was in.
Is that the one you told me? Like, I think you showed me like years later, where a dude's drinking like Pepsi out of a girl's pussy, and he's like,
I think so.
Like it's like a silly straw or some shit, and he's just pouring Pepsi in this girl's.
Probably because actually it was. Now that I think about it, it was in a cabinet, and then I was like, "What is this?" Because some of them, I found a bunch of tapes up there. One of them had horse races. One of them had Simpsons episodes. So I was like, oh, I love the Simpsons.
Maybe there's more.
And then I was like, maybe there's more Simpsons on here. And there was not. There was not more Simpsons on that tape.
Simpsons on there.
I just remember. I remember this clearly. Putting it in and pushing play, and it was just dick going in the vag. Just
that fucking close from behind.
Yeah, and I was just like, Whoa. What? What? I was like, oh, what? Whoa. Okay. That's a thing. That's happening. It was pretty intense. It was not The Simpsons.
Yeah. Though they probably did an episode about it.
Probably.
I don't know how people go from, like, I feel like that's a pretty average introduction to sex for most dudes our age. You know, I think that was a pretty average introduction to sex. You know, you start off with the magazines or whatever, and you might catch a staticky porno or a piece of shit, you know, VHS, you know, and then you work your way up and hit about like your 20s or so and figure out that that's not how sex actually is. If you're fucking not a psychopath,
right?
Like if you have any sort of like self-awareness at all, you like figure that out, that's not real. Like that's not a women don't want to lick your asshole. Typically they don't.
Depends on what you like,
asshole.
You know.
Not hating on the ones that do. God bless you.
Takes different strokes to move the world.
Fucking unicorns out there giving ram jobs to hairy buttholes, man. Hey, if that's what does it for you, I won't stop you. But most girls, like,
right.
there has to at some point, like in your sex life, you've got to be like, man, I haven't had not one girl volunteer to lick my butthole. Like, maybe I should stop requesting that they do so.
You're just secretly hoping that someone would just do it without asking?
I've never had a girl lick my asshole. I don't know. I'm just as example.
Me either.
Or getting head. That's one. That it was like I kind of figured out, like, there are a lot of girls out there, they don't want a dick in their mouth. You know, and I mulled that one over, and I understand. Like, I get it. Dicks are kind of
gross.
Ewy. Yeah.
Well, the male form in general is kind of gross.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing really.
There's hair in weird places.
Well, it's like, and I've heard I've heard women say this too. I mean, like, a naked lady looks a lot better than a naked dude.
Fuck yeah. Can confirm.
Because if you just got this fucking dangling
sack of
tube and then like a fucking a wrinkly fucking sack.
Right.
What's tasteful about
fucking
that?
Tuft of hair on top.
Yeah. Even if it's cleaned up, it's still just this dangling mess.
Right.
A girl just has, like, whether it could be trimmed or whatever, and there's a little spot.
Everything's tucked in.
She's got her boobies.
It's like a flower that hasn't bloomed quite yet. You know.
Yeah. It's simple.
They got nice. Yeah, you're right. They got nice KDs and stuff.
Well, yeah. That's why I can't understand all these dudes that just send pictures of their dick. Who does that work on? That has to work on someone, or...
Like, what's the reward system that reinforces that behavior? Dr. Phil. Shout out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, shout out Dr. Phil there.
I mean, it has to work, otherwise people wouldn't do it. I mean, I wonder
it's like catcalls at a gas station. Like, hey, man, yeah, girl! Hey, girl! That shit.
I mean, that is what it is, too, but I mean... I kind of understand that too a little bit more than just like, here's a picture of my dick. Like, what is
my wiener?
What is the point where you're talking to a chick and it's like, okay, she wants this. This is the thing this is the green light. What is the green light? Other than like, wow, you're really hot. I would love to see a picture of your penis.
I think it's half just exhibitionism. I think. There are a lot of dudes that are just, want somebody to see their shit.
With the safety of being not in front of someone.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the trench coat.
Right.
Flasher dude, you know? It's sort of that. But, I mean, you know, with a fake Facebook account.
Yeah.
But
so you can just do that without...
just send pictures as your wang. But I don't... I think even a girl that asks, like, ooh, send me a picture of your dick... She's probably not even wanting a picture of the dick. Probably not. And I'm wondering about these dudes, like, who wants to send a picture of their dick?
People with big dicks?
Yeah, that's fair.
But that I kind of get if some guy has just this giant hog leg. But to hear chicks tell it, like anybody would send a picture of their dick, even if it's just really unimpressive or incredibly normal.
Small.
Yeah.
I've never sent a dick pic. I've never received one, so I'm curious. Like, are you getting? You get your dick hard first, or are you just taking like soft dick pic?
I mean, I've had people ask me for that, and it was.
I'm guessing it wasn't Randy.
I would try to become aroused. I will say that when it's requested, at least to me, it's kind of like weird. Like, okay, now I have to go.
You had somebody like ask you for a dick pic?
Yeah.
You get the Tinder thing.
Yeah, this was way before that. It was like,
oh, no shit.
Yeah, was like it's like my ex. She was like, "Let me see your dick."
You see it? See me picture her ding dong.
Yeah. But that was just she was a very sexual person.
That's kind of the thing too, though. Like, if they're asking me for a dick pic, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to go through the trouble of getting a dick hard for a fucking picture. Like,
I don't know.
You get soft dick and no dick.
It's a weird dance people do just to get in the sack.
Right.
Do you ever think back to when we were kids? You know, those because I didn't have sex till I was like 22, but I remember in high school those there was once we were about 16 or 17, those guys would come up on like Monday morning sometimes, just kind of a little extra swagger. Me, listen, guys, let me tell you something.
What I did.
You guys sit down. I'm gonna talk about that.
Think if you're a kid, that's acceptable.
And then it's just like this amazing, and back then it was something everybody put on such a fucking pedestal. It's like, sex is great, but as you get older, it's like, it's not this.
There's other shit that's great too.
Yeah.
Good steak.
But it was, back then it was almost like this, it was like you were in a club because people hadn't had sex yet.
Right. But there was like a status. There was all sorts of cool shit that came.
Yeah,
if you were a boy, if you were a girl, don't get caught having sex.
Exactly.
Oh,
you better
shit,
not. Oh God, you harlot!
Oh my God, don't get caught having sex.
Because then all the boys are going to come after you because you have the sex.
Yep.
You know, Jenny, she put out.
Dude, that's so true, though.
It is true.
That's so true. Yeah. Well, we ready to talk donkey fucking?
Let's get right into it.
A little bit of a gear shift.
Speaking of social norms and how people handle sex and how they view it, Colombia, donkeys, and 14-year-olds.
They were down to like 11 years old.
Yeah, there were some young kids.
There were some youngins.
So basically, you sent me this video recently. It's a video article from Vice. And I'll probably go ahead and link it in the description. And if we talk about anything else that I can find a link to, I'll probably put that there too, if anyone's interested. I think this is fucking wild, but also very interesting, the donkey thing.
And there's so many implications. All right, just I gotta take a piss. You say what's up.
So anyway, basically, these guys went down to Colombia. And they had heard about people having sex with donkeys. And when I first listened to this video, I was thinking like Tijuana and donkey shows and Clerks 2 and all that shit. But what it was is it's more of a rite of passage there. And so these guys, these Americans from like New York or somewhere, went down to, I can't remember the name of the town, but it was a very poor part of the world. But it was also only like 30 or 40 minutes away from a city. And they preface this with saying, like, we just left this city, this really nice city where the women there are like 10, every other girl's a 10, and the ugly girls are 7s. So there's lots of beautiful women around. But apparently, you go 30 minutes out of town, and it's pretty much considered normal to be fucking donkeys. And it's considered a rite of passage and part of becoming a man. If you haven't had sex by the time you're 12 there, whether it's with a woman or a donkey, it's very likely going to be with a donkey. You're not a man.
Yeah,
and you would get shamed for it the same way when we were kids. Say, if you were 13 and you were like, oh, you've never even kissed a girl? What are you, gay?
Right? What are you ain't fucking donkeys? What are you, queer?
Yeah.
The interesting thing about all of that is that it's so fucking normal. like there was even like adult, like the moms, wives and stuff like that talking about like, yeah, they can fuck all the donkeys they want. Once they're married, they need to quit all that donkey fucking.
Right, you got a woman. You got a woman now. You don't need to be fucking donkeys.
They got to get their practice in. They got to, and they're all like the women, or it's a predominantly Catholic area. So like none of the girls are putting out
at all,
and they I guess the boys can't just jack off. I don't fucking get that.
I guess jacking off is probably looked at as like, I don't know, like little nerd behavior. I mean, it's like, why would you be jacking off when we got all these donkeys we
right, and
fucking?
It's so fucking normal. Nobody, like, it'd be like say you have a son and you you walk in the room and he's got Pornhub pulled up and he's cranking one out. You'd be like, oh, god damn it, like that's on me. I didn't knock. Shut the door. Just
might have to talk about it.
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. Have the jerking it talk.
Right,
but and that's normal. Like, you wouldn't be like, that's fucked up, man. Like, you can't fucking do that.
Well, we wouldn't, but a Catholic society or a very overtly religious like area would be like, hey, you need to cut that out.
You think that there's still areas that are so fucking
so religious that if a mom a dad caught his son jerking it, he wouldn't be like, that's the devil in you?
Well, I do remember my mom telling me that jacking off is a sin.
I would guarantee you that there are people around where we live that still have that mentality.
Probably.
I mean, we live in a very conservative Christian part of the world.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so not so in this little town, about 30 minutes outside of Columbia. They're just fucking donkeys. Like, it's just a normal thing. They just ball a donkey.
Yeah, to the point where you'll have an older man with a bunch of kids around and tell them it makes their wiener bigger.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
All kinds of shit, encouraging them to fuck donkeys, There's a guy who said
they didn't know how to treat a woman.
Exactly.
That blew my fucking mind.
It's just, it really makes you appreciate living in America. Because all it would have taken is for you to be born in a different part of the world, and you might be fucking a donkey, or whatever is socially acceptable there.
God bless the USA.
Exactly. For all the problems we have, we are not trying to get kids to fuck donkeys.
Yeah, that's not a common thing around here.
So let's stand back and stop fighting over who's president.
Because no matter who you're voting for, neither candidate is advocating for donkey fucking.
That's right.
Nobody's into that. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you were to ask them, they would probably say, no, let's not encourage our children to fuck donkeys. There's this one dude on this thing, though, the older dude that wouldn't stop fucking donkeys. He was just like, I ain't gonna quit.
Their driver? The guy that they videoed fucking a donkey?
Yeah, that dude. That, like, fucked a donkey in front of him?
He fucked a donkey?
Brooke says close. He don't cause this shit.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
There was a fucking development.
There was a young lady in the street, and she was high on the methamphetamines, most likely.
Yeah, most definitely.
Screaming for the Lord to take her.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get that sorted, and kind of rubbernecking, not going to lie.
I was totally rubbernecking on that shit.
Let's hope she gets the help she needs.
Let's hope she just gets the fuck out of here.
That.
I don't need this shit.
Right?
I don't need this shit. Hooks is getting wild, man. Probably shouldn't say.
Anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with fucking donkeys, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so this dude that was banging donkeys, he's like, this is the guy that's been driving around and shit, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck a donkey. I'm gonna show you guys how to fuck a donkey. And they're at this point, they're a couple days in, and their minds are already just fucking reeling, like they're just overloaded. And he takes them to like the middle of fucking nowhere. There's like a creek and a couple of bushes.
Yeah.
And he just like takes this donkey behind a bush and is fucking, but he's like making love. Like,
yeah.
He's like the fucking, he's got like, he's just one hand in it. Got the other hand just kind of draped it, leaned back, like just, I mean, just.
Yeah, this isn't his first rodeo.
Living his motherfucking best life. Making sure that donkey was having just as good of a time as he was
Even though that donkey clearly did not give any fucks.
But then he went and cleaned up in the creek.
Yes, he did. I don't even think that was a creek. I think that was just a standing body of water.
Oh, like a puddle?
Yeah, it looked like a big.
Puddle?
It looked like a big ass puddle.
It didn't look fresh.
No, it didn't. But that guy also told them that there would be times he'd be driving home from a job and see a donkey in a pasture and just get aroused.
Yeah, just become overwhelmed.
And those guys, they said initially that they thought it'd be okay. Yeah, we'll go check out this rumor. It'd be funny. Yeah, these dudes bang donkeys. Ha ha. And then they saw all that and they were kind of fucked up. And they went to see a sex therapist. And basically, they showed her everything that they saw, and they talked about it. And she discussed people who have relationships with all kinds of animals in the ways of simple bestiality, which is just having
using
sex,
it like a fleshlight.
just having sex with it, which seems pretty fucked up to say simple bestiality.
It's just fucking.
These are her words. And then there's something else called zoophilia, which was being like attracted to an animal and feeling something for that animal.
Well, once you cross the threshold into zoophilia, I think it does become a much more complicated ball of wax.
Yes.
As I mean, so I got interested, and I did a little brushing up on my zoophilia.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I came across this guy. He
I need one of these.
You gonna have a beer?
I'm gonna have a beer.
Yeah,
that was that and the meth party outside was a little too much.
Right.
Woo!
That crazy fucking talking about cunt.
Always talking about that.
What a fucking cunt. But no, alright. Anyway, I went down the zoophilia, or is it zoophilia? I don't know how to fucking say it, but I went down that rabbit hole. And I came across one that was really interesting. It was an actual interview with a couple guys that were in love with their dogs. And these, one of the guys in particular, he did the lion's share of the talking, but he was talking about his attraction to his dog. It was as weird as you'd think. But then he got into consent. And yeah. So
consent.
So this
he's very connected to this animal
because they're in love,
right?
So it's not just fucking. It's not just a flashlight. It's just not just an object you're just fucking. It's he has like a relationship with this dog, and so he puts like cocoa butter or some shit on his asshole and lets this thing fuck him. And the reason he does that is because he believes penetrating the animal that they can't consent to that, but they can consent to fucking him in the ass. So he gets fucked in the ass by this dog, this Siberian Husky. He puts cocoa butter on his asshole. This dog fucks him in the ass, and it's love.
Listen,
and he also said that the dog had been stonewalling him lately. He wasn't getting any, and but he respected the dog's boundaries.
Sometimes after a while, you just drift apart. I mean, what can you say? People change. I guess dogs change too. Listen, I have a husky myself. He's the best boy, but never, ever, 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 ever.
Never let him fuck your ass?
Never, ever.
What's the point? That shit fucking threw me for a loop, though. Like, the weird fucking mental gymnastics this dude did in his head to fabricate consent. Right. Clearly, there is none. It's a fucking dog.
Well, I mean, people will do that for regular sex, too. I mean, we've talked about that before.
She wanted it.
You told me a story about someone saying things. This was back when we were younger, and saying, well, like, we're married in the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, I won't name drop, but
yeah. We're not going to say anybody's names.
They weren't, there was that sort of mental gymnastics. Yeah, there was like, we have sex, and we're Christian. No, it's not a sin because in the eyes of the Lord, we are married. Right. And who's to say they actually did get married, are still married, have kids, like have a wonderful relationship. So, I mean,
and they love the Lord. They go to church all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean,
good for them.
Maybe
manslaughter. Maybe premarital sex made them stronger. Yeah, who knows? Meanwhile, you have...
Me and the wife just cleared 10 years. We were fucking well before marriage.
It works.
Praise him on high.
That's right. I mean, and then there's the other end of that where people will say things like, they'll do things like, well, it doesn't count as actual sex if it's, anal penetration.
Oh, fucking Mormons.
Well, I don't think that's just Mormons. I think that's a lot of people. I think we heard one example of a person that was a Mormon. I have an actual Mormon I have an actual Mormon I can consult on this. He's not anymore, but I can ask him about that.
Good for him.
But
that shit is a fucking cult.
It feels bad. That family is a sweet family. They were a great group of folks.
Yep, there's a lot of really good people that drank that Kool-Aid.
Right.
There's a lot of good people that are in. I'm sure there's some fine folk in the Church of Tony Alamo, but it's still a fucking cult, and it's still fucked.
Yes, it is.
That shit is fucked.
But speaking of which, there's it's like, well, if we have sex in her butt, it's saving her vagina till marriage, right? The leaps people will make, and
right.
I guess there's nothing in black and white on that, right?
I mean,
I guess.
I mean, if you're looking to fudge your rules, you're going to fudge your rules,
right?
So I think like oral sex is not sex, but then like this is like I actually delved into this a bit. So in the Bible it talks about it's just like impurity of the heart. So it's kind of more like if you even like think about sex and stuff.
Oh yeah, man! True love waits.
You have fornicated.
True love waits. I remember that whole program.
So that's a whole mental gymnastics or not. I think according to the book, like they're still breaking code there.
It makes me wonder what it's like in other parts of the world for other religions, because there's the fucking donkeys in Colombia, but what's it like in Africa? What's it like in Russia? What's it like in the Philippines? I mean, did they anything weird like that? Who knows?
I should have done more research.
Well, it's something we can all look into. We can all
get together, put our collective heads together.
That's right. Talk it out in the comments. What do you think is necessary? What do you think is okay? How would you feel if you grew up in Colombia? Would you be pressured to fuck a donkey?
I like to think that I wouldn't. I like to think that I'd be like...
We like to think that.
Yeah, but the whole community is fucking donkeys, so it's not like you can really escape that. There's...
Right? You can get peer pressured into way simpler stuff.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember the first time I heard people talking about jacking off, I thought they were trying to trick me.
Right.
But they eventually convinced me to try it. I mean, not there, but it was like, yeah, do it. But the first time I thought they were just bullshitting me.
The first time I heard about, like, getting head, like a girl sucking dick, I thought, like, my mind reeled. I was just like, no. No, they don't do that.
They don't do that.
They can say that is on the mouth of them. Yeah, I was like, no, that's not a real thing. Came to love it. Grew to love it. But
yeah, we turned a corner on that one.
Yeah, in that moment, I was horrified. You can imagine how I felt whenever I found out about anal. I was like, no fucking way. Nobody does that shit.
Some people do.
Everybody fucks funny to somebody.
Yeah, that's very true.
Speaking of, I was looking at fucking funny. I was looking at fetishes. Obviously,
right.
When you talk about sex, you're gonna talk about fetishes. I got off into some real fun ones with that.
I have one that's always stuck with me because I watched a thing on Netflix about it. I can't remember. Don't even know if that documentary is even still on Netflix, but it delved into, or it was
strange
episodic.
Sex.
Yeah, it was episodic.
Strange sex. Yeah,
and one of them was about lunars, people that are hypersexually aroused about balloons, and it was just like at the time that was like mind blowing.
Yeah,
balloons,
man.
Like, what do you do with a balloon? But apparently,
it didn't fucking stop there, man.
Yeah, it goes off in the weeds.
There's a dude that fucked cars. Though all it really amounted to was this dude would like just rub up all over a fucking car and jack off. But yeah, he was fucking cars.
Yeah, I saw stuff
really
about that too.
cars.
People like having sex with inanimate objects like coffee tables and shit like that. I wonder where consent goes with things like that. Do you think they have their own set of rules in their head for consent?
Consent?
What do they feel like? What would that person feel like if someone else came over and put their feet up on their coffee table?
Ooh, right. Like that coffee table got a foot fetish.
Right?
Get your feet off there.
Do they get defensive? And I guess they could, and they could just mask it. Like, I don't like people putting things on my coffee table. No. Don't do that. Don't put your feet on there. Don't put your hands on there, okay? I don't like it getting scuffed up. But when everybody leaves. I don't
think they would leave a coffee table like that out. There's probably like a coffee table that's like in a closet somewhere that they like, you know, when everybody's gone.
It seems like awfully hard to keep a coffee table in a closet, though. You'd have to have it in the living room.
Well, people go to great lengths to get laid. Like, even with my wife, like, I'll spend a full day, like, rubbing feet, being super nice, cooking dinner. Like, I'll do the whole thing for a chance. For a chance. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be, like, if all I had to do was drag this bitch out of a closet and throw her on the couch, like, shit, I'd do it. Imagine if I was fucking coffee tables, I'd just drag a coffee table out of the closet. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but can you even fit a coffee table in a closet? That's my thing, though. Maybe it worked like that with a vacuum cleaner. You put that in a closet.
It's a lot of maintenance, too.
Right? It does suck. It does suck.
There's this guy. I stumbled across this little story. There's this guy. He was arrested not once but twice for fucking pool noodles on the side of the road. Like, he got arrested once, and I don't know if he was high on drugs, what the deal was, but he got caught fucking a pool noodle.
He was at least high on life.
And then like a second time got caught fucking a pool noodle. And there was a third time where he was fucking a pool raft. So this dude's
the noodle kind of like, because there's usually like that hole in the pool. There's a hole, but yeah. What about with the raft? I mean, it's got where you blow it up, but I wouldn't think there's enough.
Well, and the thing is, he's not in a pool. Like, he's on the side of a fucking road,
right?
Just going to town on this shit.
He's just a very, very proud exhibitionist.
Brought his own bottle of baby oil or something.
Holy shit!
I don't know what the fuck is going on there. And there was this Asian dude. I don't know what kind of Asian, but he was an Asian dude.
Let's stick with the umbrella we developed last time and just say
Asian. But he fucked a pipe. He fucked this pipe that was sticking out of a wall.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it like a water pipe or like a tobacco pipe?
I have no idea. The video was not, like, it was pretty grainy. All you could really tell is it was some sort of a pipe sticking out of a fucking wall. It looked like he was inside somewhere. And he would, like, look around and do a little humping. And then he'd look around, do a little more humping. And at some point, he realized that his dick was stuck in this pipe. This motherfucker stayed there with his dick in this pipe for 3 days and had a fucking fever and shit. When they finally came, and it took an angle grinder. They had to cut this fucking pipe off the wall.
Oh my god!
The dude never got laid. Never got laid after that.
I would imagine not. Dude's fucking pipes and shit.
There are nicknames that will follow you to the end of your days. If somebody has to angle grind your cock out of a pipe that was sticking out of a wall.
Yeah, but you could twist that one. I feel like that one would be an easy one to twist. Just call yourself the pipe fitter.
If you could give yourself nicknames. But I imagine people call him, like, his nickname's probably, like that dude that got
caught fucking a pipe.
Stuck in a pipe for 3 days.
That's the nickname no one wants.
Right? It's not even fun to say.
Right. No, I looked up some stuff, too.
Fucker.
It was, some fetish stuff like that. There was, I can't remember the names for all of them, but it was just weird random things, like people that get aroused by extra large things. Like macrophilia.
Macrophilia.
And just weird random stuff like that, like inanimate people that get aroused by inanimate objects, and it runs the gamut. I mean, if it can be fucked in some way, man has done it.
Look at the car. The dude would just like lay on it and jack off.
But I also saw
what the fuck is wrong with people? That's so fucking like. There's okay. Mind you, like I would much rather you like jack off on a car or something like that, or like rub your balls on some balloons or smear pie on your pussy or whatever the fuck your deal is. I'd much rather like that's. I don't have anything morally against that
because it's not hurting anyone. But
you're not fucking dogs tricking dogs into fucking you.
Right.
You're not doing that. You're
potentially only hurting yourself.
You're not even hurting yourself.
I mean, potentially. You could.
It depends on the fetish, but I mean, like, rubbing your balls on balloons and, like,
you could
jacking off on a car.
Get some kind of weird rash. I'm just saying.
I guess you could get your dick stuck in a pipe for
right?
days. Die from pipe dick fever.
Pipe dick fever. Holy shit.
Oh, pinch poke.
I saw. I found this list of weird sex laws, and some of them seem like they might be made up, because there was one in particular, and it was the one from Hong Kong where if a woman found her husband cheating on her, she is legally allowed to kill him, but she has to do so with her bare hands, but she's allowed to kill his mistress in any way she sees fit. So she could bust in and put a cap in that bitch's head and then just choke the dude to death.
I'm into it.
Like, imagine if you were like Ronda
Ronda
Rousey or something. Just break the dude's arm and
but you're
choke him the fuck
your
out.
Your average Asian is not Ronda Rousey.
Well,
I'm
giving an example. There could be the Hong Kong equivalent.
I'm sure there is.
That's what I'm saying. But I agree, you're right. The average person's not. But also, everywhere I looked on that law, it seemed very much that that's not really on the level. And then I found a bunch of weird laws that were.
Is it not? Is that not a real thing?
It seems like it's not. It seems like it's really fun. I wish it was.
I wish it was here. That sounds.
I wish it went both ways too. Believe you me.
Believe you me.
That would be fair and square.
Yeah, but so what would be like if you're a dude though, like you have to tie your arm behind your back and prove that you tied your arm behind your back prior to the strangulation, because they're having to punch up. Like they have to do it with their bare hands. They can't involve knives or, you know what I mean? So they got to bare hand this shit, that's a monumental task for,
I feel like that's a little too much preamble for that. I feel like if you go to that point, it needs to be hot blooded for it to be okay.
Hence the bare hands.
That's what I'm saying. Bare hands.
Like it's hard to defend yourself when you're like balls deep in some puss. Like, all right, let me set the scene. All right.
Well, are we talking about America now, or are we talking about Hong Kong again?
Asia.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know where you're going.
I thought we agreed on this.
I thought you were talking about having your arm behind your back. I thought that was.
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Right, so paint a picture.
Okay.
Scenario. We got nothing but time and a crazy bitch in the road. So here it is. Like you bring this little lady home from the office. Wife's not home. You know she's not home. She's out getting ramen. And you're like, slip the kimono to the ground, right?
Holy fucking shit.
Little paper lanterns are glowing softly. There's some of that weird, like, wood block music shit going on in the background. You just got the newest CD of whatever that was.
Yeah, and Hong Kong is an English colony, but go ahead.
I'm talking about Asia.
It's just in Hong Kong!
My only experience with all of any part of Asia is Mulan, Kung Fu movies, and anime. Alright? I've never been there. I
just love that you went straight to the most, 1980s, American movies. Japan stereotype.
Yeah.
But go for it.
I'm painting a picture, dude.
Okay.
I'm trying to set a mood.
Okay.
Okay. Paper lanterns burning low. You put her softly on that mattress on the ground. Thrust through that hairy muff, and she begins crying softly. So, then what's that? Then what's that? That weird paper door slides to the side, and there she stands, your wife, and like you're balls deep in some puss, and the mood's set. Maybe she kicks over a paper lantern or some shit, drops the ramen on the ground, splash, and there's the record skips on the woodblock music, and I know there's the name for it. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like the record fucking skips, and you're stunned. Like you don't know what to do. You don't know how to react. Like you're so fucking off balance, and she just rushes in, wham! Chopsticks in the eyes of the bitch. She's out. She's dead as shit. Brain is torn asunder by chopsticks, reeking of ramen. And then she turns on you and just starts clawing at your eyes and your throat, biting and shit like that. You're so off balance. You're naked. You're horny. You're blue ball. Like there's so much going on. Like I think she could take it. She could take it, but it's gonna be tough, and she's gonna have to be quick. And that's why I'm saying, like, because all it would take is for this dude to have like a moment of like Nani, and then he's beating the shit out of her and he wins, right? So it's a very risky move for the lady.
Does she not know kung fu?
In this scenario, most likely.
Okay, that's the only thing.
Most likely in this scenario, most likely.
I mean, let's keep it on. Let's keep everything.
I'm at least consistent.
Yeah, let's keep it consistent with the.
So now that I've completely put myself out there as a total racist, let's flip this script. All right. Now you're a dude.
Okay.
Coming home from a hard day. Shit, man.
Oh, come on. Let's go on. In it to win it.
Arthur. Coming in from a hard day at the rice field. See what I mean? That one was too much. You're coming in. Of course you kick off your shoes. But you pause for a moment at the door. And you hear a soft crying coming from inside. You know that sound. You know that particular sob. She's getting railed. Sling open the door. And you run in, you've got your hoe, you've already got your field hoe in your hand, and you run up and through the neck artery. Dude's out, and you glare at her for a moment, and you go, too easy.
Is there blood spraying like it's fucking Kill Bill?
Oh, fuck it, there is. All over, like if you were outside looking in, like because of the soft paper lantern glow, like it would just look like this black silhouette of paint splatters on the side of the wall there. But we're inside. And the blood doesn't stop coming. And now there does she.
Holy shit.
And you're enraged, but you remember, this is too easy. This is too easy. There is no honor in this. So you excuse yourself for a moment. Step back outside. Take your hempen rope. Silk. It's probably silk. It's probably silk rope. And you tie your right arm behind your back. Now you're ready. And you go in for a fair fight.
No.
And honor.
I disagree.
Honor-filled fight.
I disagree because if you're that upset, there's no way on God's green earth that that's going to happen. You're going to take a swing at her and you're going to drop it and you're going to cave her faceplate in. That's it. That's all.
Both arms? You can't use your hands. It's like soccer.
It doesn't matter. And you would stomp it then. But there's no way you're going to calm down.
By then, she's probably up and moving, jerking and jiving.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised that he kept his hoe and didn't just pick up his katana that's at the door of every Asian house.
That's over the fireplace. Far into the room. Too far to go.
You wouldn't go there first?
This is an act.
They don't have they don't have like a rack, like a gun rack, but for swords.
Do you think they have like old pickup trucks with like katana racks in the back of them shits?
I want to live in that timeline.
Oh my god. Oh god. I want Japan to take over so bad. Oh Jesus. Yeah, that's a fun law.
That is a very fun law.
I hope it's real.
There's some other laws in the states that seem a little more real and a little less real. Some seem like they're maybe from.
Give me a more real.
There's ones for Arkansas specifically. It says in Little Rock that flirtatious and lascivious banter between
What's
men.
lascivious? What the
Basically,
fuck is that?
I had to look this up because it basically means overtly rude and sexual behavior or discussion. Basically, it means talking about cunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Or cow.
Flirtatious and lascivious behavior can result in like a 30-day imprisonment.
Holy shit.
That's what it says. I don't know if this is from like 1840 or some shit. Right. But apparently that's in the books for Little Rock. There was one I think for it was either New Mexico or Arizona that you're not allowed to have more than 2 dildos per house. That was one of my favorites. Of course,
two is excessive.
Like look, you got one and you got a backup. That's enough,
right? Like you don't feel like you hadn't done dishes.
Do you think that you can get? Do you think if they have one of those double-ended ones, it counts as 2?
Oh fuck!
Oh, it's a loophole.
That is.
It's a loophole. Nice. There's not many others I can remember. The other state laws were things like, apparently in Alabama, you can marry a cousin.
Well, I don't think that's any secret.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
What do you think about that, about incest? That's a weird one.
According to Pornhub, it's popular.
Yeah, but I mean, like in real life, like
I think that you could kind of go back
like between 2 consenting adults.
What? 2 consenting? What? Like third cousins who've seen each other twice or something, or like a brother and a sister? Like that.
Well, let's say brother and a sister.
A brother and a sister. I understand.
Take reproduction out of it. What's the oh shit? What's the big fucking deal?
You know, other than it being gross. You would think in our conservative part of the world they wouldn't care, considering I guess we came from Adam and Eve.
Is that a conservative value?
That you came... That's what I don't always get. It's okay, all of this is bad, but we came from... Go by the Bible, we came from Adam and Eve. Matter, there's multiple forms of incest in the Bible, because there was the flood. That wiped everybody but Noah and his kids out, right?
Right.
So they had to all bang each other out of, like 6 people or some shit?
Right.
I mean, did he just flip a switch and be like, okay, go. And then he starts counting, stop. Mm-hmm. Like it's red light, green light with incest or some shit like that. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. And then it's like, oh, flood, okay, green light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, red light. And then that was it. That was the last time. Now it's not okay.
Well, I think once you accepted this belief in God, you've already suspended like a need for evidence or logical thought.
I guess.
I mean, I'm not disparaging Christians or Christianity, but like to me, that's just a logical assumption to make. Like if you are like, okay, there's like just a being out there thought all of this into existence, people walking on water, virgin births, people coming back from the dead, talking donkeys and shit, all this shit. Like you're probably not overly concerned about how population works.
Right. I don't know. But before we go down
if you believe all that shit, you're well past like
before we go down that rabbit hole, the whole incest thing, that's between whoever wants to do it, I guess. I don't want to know about it. I don't want any part of it. Fuck, dude.
You just want to put that out there?
It's just whatever, I guess. That's between whoever wants to do it. It's gross. I think it's super gross.
I don't know that it is just between whoever wants to fucking do it. There are ramifications on your fucking family.
What do you mean?
Like, first of all, and again, okay, so never mind reproductive. We all know what fucking happens.
What comes from inbreeding.
We all know that. We've all seen The Hills Have Eyes and Deliverance.
Yeah, we've been to Hatfield, Arkansas.
We know what happens.
Right.
All right. So, that aside, if you get caught fucking your sister, there are countywide ramifications for that. It's going to reflect poorly.
Well, I mean, if you're going to say it that way, I mean, there are laws against it, I'm pretty sure.
Never mind the laws. That aside. Like, you're
just what people view you and your family as now? Is that what you're talking about? The repercussions from that?
I don't even have a sister.
I'm talking about the royal you in this situation.
Oh, the hypothetical me that's fucking my sister?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're gonna think I'm fucking weird. They're gonna think my sister's fucking weird. If we have any other siblings, they're probably gonna automatically be lumped in. Like, oh, of course they're all fucking each other. Of course, mom and dad are fucking them too.
Right.
Like, the family name is beyond tarnished. Like, it's not drugged through mud. It's drugged through ancestral shit.
I feel like if you've got to the point where you're willing to plow your sister, you've made peace with these ideas.
Yeah, like you're past giving a fuck.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just saying there is a ripple effect. Like, you are casting a stone into a pond. I think there's other shit to consider. You know, like, there's other people you can fuck.
Right.
You don't have to fuck your sister or your cousin or whatever. Like, go fuck somebody else. Like, is your world really so goddamn small? Like, let's be honest. Everybody's got a fucking cell phone. Everybody's got Tinder. Nobody's living alone on top of a mountain with nothing to fuck but a donkey or their sister.
I don't know, dude.
I know.
It could be.
I know.
It could be. What I'm saying is, I don't know.
No fucking excuse. If these kids are fucking donkeys in Colombia, then you can find a fucking raccoon to hump.
No, listen. What I'm saying is, I don't know in the way that maybe these people you could put them in with some type. Maybe they have some type of fucking mental illness. You know, the way we were talking about the pedos. At Endem also. I meant to say this at the beginning. We talked about this last time about being no rhymes for chastising pedos. I developed one.
Nice. Let's hear it.
Okay. Basically, what you would do is, okay, you guys you're doing pedo shit. That's gross. We're going to just round you up and put you in the shittiest neighborhood there is and let you wear sandwich boards to say what you do. And that problem will sort itself out. So what would happen is, do the pedo, get the ghetto.
Nice. Nice.
And that's it.
Do the pedo, get the ghetto.
That's it. That's it. Do the pedo, get the ghetto.
Here's the thing about pedos, though.
T-shirts will be available in about 2 weeks.
Here's the thing about pedo, though. That is only prepubescent children.
True.
Which I feel like there's big people misusing pedo an awful lot.
Right.
Fair enough. I don't give a shit. Like, fuck them both. But what is it? Hedophile? Is that what the other one is?
Oh, I remember.
Pedophile?
I can't remember the name for it, but I know I've seen like threads or pictures of threads on the internet where people are talking about being grossed out by whatever the type of file that is, and someone will ask and be like, "Oh, that's someone being attracted to someone over 18," and then they're like, "So normal people,
right?
Right?"
No, that's a weird thing though, because you run into motherfuckers like Jeff Goldblum and shit, where they're fucking like 18, 19-year-olds, and it's like the only thing keeping that dude from fucking a 15-year-old is law. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking thing keeping... Like, it's still fucking creepy. If you're in your fucking 50s and you have an 18-year-old girlfriend, I get it, it's legal. I get it.
Well, yeah,
and all that's fucking
right,
creepy.
And you're flexing on your ex-wife and all that shit. Oh, look at that.
Whether you are or whether you aren't, you're still a fucking creep.
Yeah, it's still fucking gross. Because I've seen shit like that all the time where dudes will talk about, like, oh, you know, guys can pull women in their 20s up to their 50s and shit like that. You don't have to worry about that bitch that left you and all that. It's always on these get over divorce type of things. Because I remember I looked at a few of those.
Fuck a child.
I looked at a few of those videos whenever I was trying to deal with, divorce when that was happening. And it was always these weird fucking middle-aged, like 40 to 50s guys talking about, guys, you could go out there and you could pull some fucking 20 strange, like half your age, and you'll rub it in that bitch's face, all right? You got this. Go to the gym, get yourself in shape. You're going to be fucking 20-somethings in no time.
And I'm fucking children in no time.
And I'm just like, this is fucking gross. Who's okay with this? I mean, it's legal, sure, but I think it's fucking weird.
It's fucked. There's something just fucked about it, man. Like, it's, not into it.
Right?
I don't know. And I get it, it's legal. I get it. Not... It's just, to me, it's gross. I'll just fucking leave it at that. Do what you do.
Right.
Consenting adults. Like, I wouldn't try to, like, put that into law or anything like that. Just me personally, it's fucking creepy and gross.
Yeah. 100%.
And again, if you're a girl that's above, like, 18, if you're in your 20s or whatever like that, you should really at this point understand how creepy and weird that shit is. And you should have better standards for yourself.
Get a therapist. Find other ways to work through your issues.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. I just think that it's kind of crazy what people will do for sex and what people will use sex for. Like, it's a status symbol type thing. It's the oldest profession. I wonder what it's like. I mean, yeah, that would make a lot more. And it would be safer for these people that want to do it. Get them some health insurance and let them work.
Maybe 9 to 5, man.
In a safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to stop it.
I can't. Could you imagine? Like, the 9 to 5 would suck in a whorehouse.
There's too many dudes out there.
It would be like the day shift at a strip club. Who wants that?
Unless you don't give a fuck and you're just kind of into it or whatever.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, your prime time for that would have to be like the night shift. Like, who wants to work day shift at a whorehouse? That's like, there's no money in it.
There's stripping. No, the fuck. There's not money in it. How many tricks do you think these bitches got to turn?
Well, yeah, but if we're normalizing it and get them health insurance, would you want to be stuck on the day shift in a whorehouse?
Well, there's no way they're going to be put on.
It's kind of like
payroll.
It's kind of like
they're
waiting.
Not going to be making $10 an hour.
It's kind of like waiting tables. Wouldn't you rather work like Friday evening where all the money is?
Well, I'm sure.
That's what I'm saying.
You'll have your night shift.
Is that where you put
I guess your day shift.
Where you put the shit disturbers or the people that need to train?
Well, look, you can walk into like.
What would training be like for a whore? Do you have some? Do people just apply for that?
No, I didn't even want to talk about this. I really didn't even want to get into this shit. But there is such a thing that happens. The shit that I came across was really disturbing, and like I said, I kind of didn't want to talk about, but it was. It was training for just that.
Like whorehouse, like over in places in Nevada?
It was for like kids. It's like grooming.
Oh. Yeah. I thought you were going to say something about like the Moonlight Bunny Ranch shit in Nevada where it prostitution is legal and things.
Weirdly enough, I did zero research on that shit. Though from what I hear, they're very clean.
By the books.
Shit's on the up and up, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is training. I don't know if there's like a training video, but there is training, and though the way I stumbled across it was absolutely appalling, the fact does remain there is training, and I would assume that would translate into like of age women, say in Nevada or whatever, like they're 18 and they're like, I bet I could fuck for a living. I bet I'd be good at that shit. I'm sure that there's and I don't know, it's probably more like a mentorship. Like they get in there and like Sally Hooker takes young Betty Hooker. I don't know why my name's from the 50s.
She brings her in, it's like, oh no, she's training today, so she's she's watching.
Like, is there like she's just watching.
And then it's like she goes like, all right, you're gonna do this one, and I'm gonna watch. It's like, don't be so nervous. Like, she's coaching her through it.
Checks her technique. Like, hang on, stop. What are we doing wrong? Lick the balls. Lick the balls.
Listen to what he wants. All right.
Listen to what he wants.
Listen to what he wants.
It's fuck time.
But don't let him get too rough with you, all right? Okay, you've got to please the
There's
customer,
a lunk
right?
alarm. There's a lunk alarm for that shit. Like it's Planet Fitness. It's Planet Fuck. If you get too loud, they get a button they can hit.
Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah. But yeah, I guess I'm sure there's some sort of training that they go through. Like, I mean.
It just, the idea...
Nobody starts hoeing overnight.
The
you don't
idea
hit that... Like, I can't imagine that, like, in Nevada, like, at this point, because like we're here where hooking is illegal and there's lots of hooking going on. And granted, these are the scraggly scrags, so they ain't making but like, $10 a blowski.
Right.
But let's put that on the up and up. Like, there's a lot of girls. I feel like there's probably a lot of attractive girls that would be like, ooh, I could, fuck for $200.
Some of these girls,
legal? Fuck yeah.
Some of these girls that are stripping are working at like your places like Hooters or Twin Peaks. Not all of them. Obviously, some of them are just there because they know, like they're just
some dudes go to Hooters for the wings.
They do, and some of those girls are.
No dude goes there for the fucking wings.
Some of those girls are just there because they know they can make good money, and that's it. I mean, they got their heads on straight. But yeah, there's plenty of them that would be like, I could make a lot more money. Just plowing, and this is on the level, and people are going to have protection and be clean, and I just got to learn to say, yeah, daddy.
Right. Wait, say that again? I'm getting hard over here.
Yeah, daddy.
Yeah. Hee-haw.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. But it's illegal here, and there's still plenty of that shit going on, is my point. So, like, if you in Nevada, you legalize the shit, like, your quality of purchasable poon skyrockets.
Right?
You probably got bitches moving out there. They're just they're sick of Craigslist. They're sick of,
right, they know
Smack Daddy T.
They know what they're worth.
Shit, making them sell crack sometimes. I'm a hooker, not a drug dealer.
All right,
look out for these kids.
This is art.
Right. I'm a courtesan.
It could be for some of these people. I mean,
to Nevada. I'm sure they got so many applications they have to turn some of them away.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, bitch, you got Hep C.
Just like all your like 7.5s trying to get into movies and things like that. And
right.
Just like you also have so many people that try to get on like America's Got Talent or whatever singing show is popular now, and they're like, yeah, a bunch of you guys can sing pretty well, but you're not good enough for this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. Some bitches that like, I get great head, but they gag a lot and use teeth.
Right. Do you think they ever have any who are just kind of plain looking but they fuck so good that they impress someone and they're like, no, guys, you guys gotta try Hillary.
Yo.
You don't look. Don't just listen. Try it. I promise you'll be back. And
I know what she looks like. There's a reason.
And I'm not even saying that this hypothetical girl is ugly, but just in comparison to these other ones that are probably like fucking gorgeous, is just kind of homely. But she just knocks it out. Just does something that knocks it out of the fucking park. And she's. I was thinking about like how they have like the little chalkboard outside of like bistros and shit. It's like the soup of the day or whatever.
They would call it the soup of the day.
The Hillary de jour.
Macaroni in a pot.
Macaroni in a pot. Shout outs to Ben Shapiro. His number one jam.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I fucking forgot about this, but I had this idea. I wanted us to do a dramatic reading of WAP.
That's already been done. We can't top what's been done.
He didn't. I went back over the Ben Shapiro thing. He didn't do a dramatic reading. He did a very dry, clinical, like doctor reading the shit off the jar. This is the problem with Ben Shapiro reading that song. Like, of course he thinks it's gross. The dude wears a fucking yarmulke. Like, of course he thinks it's fucking. He's got a fucking yarmulke on, like the fucking time. Like, of course he thinks it's fucking gross.
So he's just too conservative, right?
Way too conservative. That dude is like. He is Nabisco.
I'm sure not all Jewish people are that conservative.
Fucking, he's a wafer. He's a British wafer. There's no flavor in that. He's what the Brits would call a biscuit.
So he only has sex for procreation. You think?
I don't think he.
Maybe like a couple.
I think probably since he found out they can just do in vitro shit, he's probably like, well, that's what God wants. Like, we don't even have to have sex. Huzzah, honey! We no longer have to have sex.
Right.
And she's probably
sex is just a temptation of the devil.
Right.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
Ben Shapiro. But yeah, that was my idea.
I feel like we could do
Sorry
that.
for derailing so hard.
That's okay. I mean, we're all about derailing. I mean, when there's crackhead in the street, you gotta go look.
I bet there's different, like, if you were to go to Nevada, I don't know, but I bet there's, like, they've got, like, their top shelf whores.
Right. Or you mean, like whorehouses? There's one that's, like, fucking, like, the creme de la creme, and then there's, like, fucking, you know, like, your step down that's, like, your fucking Chili's, and then you have, like, your fucking Denny's, and then you have, like, McDonald's. And then you have that one at the bottom that's, like, Waffle House that's secretly the best one.
That's the plain looking. It's the soup of the day.
That's Hillary.
That's the soup of the day.
Hillary got that Waffle House pussy.
Oh God, I heard from a friend of a friend whose dad worked for some like security branch of the government, but Hillary went for like runs every day, and sometimes she would stop in and drop off cookies and stuff. Which, by the way, is a total sweetheart move. Gonna put that. Say what you will about Hillary. If she actually did that, that's a sweetheart move. Dropping off cookies to the dudes that work in the guard shack. However, dude said that when she came into the guard shack, her pussy stank so fucking bad they would have to like leave the fucking door open to air that bitch out.
How do they know it was her pussy? Was it just that aroma?
You know when it's pussy.
Okay, that's
you
fair.
know when it's pussy.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess I wasn't expecting the first lady to be that pungent. I mean, you would expect if when someone makes it to the White House and they have that level of influence, they have only the finest soaps.
Well, her husband, the president of the United States, the most powerful man in the United States, fucked Monica Lewinsky
With a cigar.
Like he could have done anything.
Well, he was busy. He was busy. That's
your soup of the day, though. That's like she's real plain, kind of homely, even. Like I would say, Monica Lewinsky's a homely woman.
Well, that's been discussed though. A lot of that was like
smells like butterscotch.
He just had to look outside the door and pick what was available. You know, it's not like he could go to the club and pick up some.
You think that's saying like Bill Clinton's just so fucking horny? He was just like, ah!
Probably.
I gotta sign these bills, so I can't jack off. But I'll. Monica, can you come in, please?
Come in. Listen, Monica. Just get down in front of me and do your country proud. That's a horrible Bill. That's a horrible Bill Clinton.
I thought it was easy. It was passable. Man, you think Donald Trump let Russian hookers piss on him?
At some point in his life, probably.
I bet he did.
That dude's probably done a lot of crazy shit. We had this discussion about rich people, dude. It's fucking weird. They do weird shit. Most of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I'm sure they do.
I wouldn't even say that, like, if I found out, like, if my... Like, let's say he did. Let's say he did and there's fucking video of it. And let's say it's a big, like, bodybuilder Russian woman. Like,
no, I don't think he'd do that.
Let's say it was.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Let's say it was.
Let's run with your analogy.
And let's say she's just pissing all over his fuck. I mean, just pissing all over his face. And he's just goddamn loving it.
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't either.
I think there's, like, my gripes about Donald Trump, I feel like, are, like, legitimate gripes. I don't give a shit. The
gripes I've had with him have been the same shit from years before he was ever president. I've just never liked the guy. I think he's a fucking dickhead asshole. It has nothing to do with his politics.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about him now that I did 20 years ago.
Like an asswipe.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude.
He's a loudmouth piece of shit.
Fuck him. Fuck him. Anyway, I'm not getting
into
that. I'm not wading into that cesspool.
But I bet he fucks. Whore.
I bet. Still.
I mean... What was that fucking porn star that he fucked? Fucking
Stormy Daniels.
Grabbed her by the pussy.
Stormy Daniels. Just fucking grabbed her by the pussy and fucked her.
I wonder how much he paid for that.
Who cares?
I'm just curious. I wonder what he was willing to pay.
If I had the money and I'm president and my wife, I'm in a loveless, most definitely sexless marriage. And I've got the money. Like Mia Khalifa, something like I mean, they're just fucking for money, anyways,
right?
So, yeah. Why Why not?
I mean, I'm not shitting on the idea of paying for sex. I'm just curious what it costs. That's it. I'm just curious what the transaction was. I mean, it's worth it to bang some hot ass bitch. Yeah, why not?
She's probably got a lot of money though already.
Probably. I'm sure she made a lot of money off of all that and made a lot of appearances and everything.
You think it's like a Chuck Liddell sort of situation where they just can't give it up? They just can't put down the belt?
Maybe.
They can't hang the jersey.
I'm sure that anybody that has some amount of notoriety or is renowned in their field has a certain amount of ego and doesn't want to stop doing it and feels like they could show anybody else up. Like Jenna Jameson. Mm. I mean, I don't know if anybody that is young knows who the fuck she is. But when I think of porn stars, that's probably the first person I think of.
Right.
Off the top of my head. And I'm sure she has an ego about that, about her craft.
Right.
And feels like she's the best there ever was.
Right.
Just want to come out of retirement and show them who's boss. I wonder if they'll ever do that. You know, like we've got Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. going to have a fight. Like we're going to have like porn stars come out of retirement and just bang the shit out of some 20-year-old.
Like when we're in our 50s, like Brandy Love and Corey Chace. Just like come out of retirement and show all these little bitches how it's done.
Right?
This is how you suck dick.
Like these little kids these bitches just don't fucking know. They turn it into a contest.
I'd watch it.
It wouldn't surprise me if we go that way.
I don't feel like we're old enough, really. Like I feel like porn is like just now hit like real mainstream status.
Yeah, I think so. It's just now getting
we've had Larry Flint, we've had Hugh Hefner, their respective brands and shit. We've had that, but I mean we've come a long ways now to where it's like you don't have to have $5 and an ID to get a fucking magazine.
You just need an internet connection, or some type of phone. Then you can get a smartphone for what, like. You get a straight talk smartphone for like $30 at Walmart.
Right, something like that.
And you can just be looking at porn as soon as that thing charges up.
Right.
I think that's just what it took for it to be mainstream.
It had to become accessible. The internet did I think it did a world of good, and it also severely damaged because we're overly saturated.
With just porn or
everything. Well, I mean, like, how many dudes out there have subscriptions to things like Pornhub and...
I hope not that many. I mean, the free library is pretty vast.
Pretty goddamn extensive, man. Like, I haven't hit the bottom yet.
I don't know I wonder what you even get from a premium Pornhub subscription.
The videos with the star beside them? You get them shits, but you can just wait a month and they're...
It's like, oh my god, that's like having Crunchyroll. You just have to, you have to wait a week before you can watch the new episode. They're like all a week behind.
Or like, was it YouTube Red or whatever?
Yeah.
YouTube Premium. You pay and it gets rid of the ads.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like Pornhub, this is the beauty of Pornhub. Like, they're so, like, generous. Because they put the ad at the beginning of the video. Like, there's still a skip option 5 seconds in. Skip that shit.
There's not like 20.
No more interruptions.
Yeah.
None. You just got it.
I feel like, do you think they have more traffic than something like YouTube?
Fuck yeah.
You think so?
Oh, fuck yeah. Shit yeah, dude. No fucking doubt.
I wonder what I guess they would have to. Otherwise they would be trying other ways to monetize.
Spades.
But I was just thinking in the way that like so many people will just casually pick up and look at YouTube all throughout the day on their phone, and I'm just thinking like there's probably
having it running in the background, music and stuff.
Yeah, not that many people will just be like, well, I've got like 15 minutes on my break at work. I'm gonna watch some porn.
Yeah, because there's such a thing as like porn addicts. There's not like YouTube addicts.
You think it's like those free-to-play games where they just have whales who inject all the money into it?
I think they do all right. I think they probably do just...
Hope you're doing okay, Pornhub. You need to stick around.
Right? God bless it, man. They do such good things. Like,
You always hear about them tweeting about like mental health and all kinds of much deeper shit than you would have ever. Like I never heard Playboy talk about being concerned about the state of the world.
They were big up in like the Me Too movement and shit. They removed a bunch of their shit that they thought was like triggering and stuff. They removed a whole bunch.
That's
of porn.
really weird because I would assume that porn in general is a pretty.
I don't know. I may be wrong on this.
Dark industry.
I believe I read that.
I know that they're constantly referencing things like mental health and
they put fucking snowplows out.
Stuff that
they put snowplows out
so people can go to work and shit.
Yeah,
that stuff's wild. Now,
fucking Pornhub for president.
Now, granted,
I vote the whole corporation of Pornhub for president.
Now, granted, there's probably enough mental health problems in the porn industry.
Shit, is that crazy bitch back?
Oh, I think she's back.
I think she's back. We'll pause.
We'll be right back, y'all. We'll be right back. Shit popping off. Okay, so we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Hey, public service announcement. Let us know if your local police department stops taking calls at a certain hour. Because apparently here, after hours, unquote, you have to call 911. And apparently no one has called to do anything about this crazy bitch. I tried for like 10 minutes earlier to get the cops on the phone to say, hey, there's a chick in the road saying, oh, please God, kill me. And she's still there.
I'll bet she is a wild cat in the sack, though. Just meth and candid spirit.
Right? She's got energy, if nothing else. Because she's been out there wailing for a long time.
Like, yeah. Oh, I mean, she hung it up. She took like a lunch break. She came back.
She had to go have a cigarette.
God damn.
Have a sandwich.
She's still fucking out there hollering.
Holy shit, dude.
Fuck. Crazy cunt.
Holy fuck.
Talking about cunt.
Yeah, sex.
Let's talk gay man on man fucking.
Because we know all about that. Because
I was actually thinking about that.
Heterosexual.
I really think that at some point we should revisit this topic and bring in maybe a guest or something.
We talked about this. We should find, I guess, what's the term now? A pansexual person? Because they're just into everything.
Well, I know a dom.
I think that's going to be a separate topic altogether, though.
It's like a subset.
Just like a subset, but not just on the broad subject of sex, but just that whole thing, which that's just fascinating to me, that people are into this shit that she would make them do. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But different strokes for different folks, right? I guess people get off on so many weird things.
On shit. They get off on shit.
Yes, and it's gross.
Get off on poop.
I'll
go ahead and put it out there. This dom made this dude eat shit, and he did it.
She did. She showed me a video of it. It's hilarious.
And he paid her to make him eat shit.
Yes.
He has a dick cage.
But we're not going to go too much more into that. We're going to let her tell those stories.
Jesus Christ. A dick cage.
No, stop pouring. Don't ruin the pie.
But I seen it. It's fucking weird.
Yes. We saw that, and it was very fucking weird. But who are we to say with our vanilla likes and dislikes?
Well,
let's get wild and turn this girl on her belly and do it doggy style.
I don't know, man. I don't mind. What pushes a person to that?
I'm not sure.
Or is it a push? Is it just like a natural inclination that I want to fucking ball gag and a sex swing? We'd have to ask her sister.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Boredom, trying to spice things. People try weird shit to spice things up.
Yeah. That's a dangerous fucking game to play, though.
It is.
It's like if you've been married, like I've been married for 10 years now. I can't imagine like being like, baby, I'm gonna shit on you.
Right? That's something else. I don't know.
I don't think you go there at once, so I think you probably start off a lot smaller than that.
Right? I don't know. I feel like people get to that point where they feel like they need to spice things up, and that's how some people decide they need to go elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing, well, and this is not so much about sex. It's more about like a relationship. I guess cheating is sex. I guess that's the thing.
It's usually involved in it. Yeah.
But I think that there's a lot of misconception about like what a long-term relationship looks and feels like. You know, like there's a lot of too much Notebook. You know, too much fucking Notebook.
Well, we talked about this last time. People just watch too much TV and they get influenced. They get influenced by TV and movies and think that's how things should be. The same thing when they see people posting only the most positive parts of their relationships on social media and they think, well, I want what they have.
Right.
All we do is fucking work and pay bills and either maybe we have these fucking kids or whatever you're dealing with and that's all we have.
And next thing you know, you're shitting on each other's chest.
Or she's having somebody else shit on her chest.
Or having somebody else.
Or you're having somebody else shit on your chest. Let's be fair.
Let's be fair. You know, I think maybe that's a myth that should be dispelled before like one goes into just marriage. Get married, you know, like you gotta get this idea of this, like, you know, like you see The Notebook or something like that, like if that relationship actually existed, that's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
You know, the vast
100%.
majority of this is just like silence and reading newspapers and drinking coffee.
Right, it's really banal, ordinary shit.
Right.
At some point, you become less lovers and more companions.
Right.
And but that's the point of it too, right? It's supposed to be your best friend.
Absolutely. Well, I think so. I think there's like, I'm not against the idea of, like, you know, spicing things up or whatever. Like, I don't think, like, your marriage is necessarily in the dumps because you're trying to spice things up, you know, in one area or another. You know, I think, you know, when I think spicing up a marriage, like, obviously the first thing that comes to mind is, like, sex stuff. Like, that's always the first fucking thing. Like, spice up a marriage, let's bring some dildos and shit in here.
Right. Let's have some sangria and just do some weird shit.
Shove these hamsters into our ass.
Try some weird things, and when it could just be a little more simple, like I don't know, let's go away for the weekend. Let's change it up.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, just go on and take a trip.
Yeah,
you know, just go.
I don't know. I think that's more of a relationship thing. Maybe we go deeper into relationships another time or something.
Yeah. That's not kind.
That's not kind. Let's get back to the gritty. What people want. What people want is
nitty gritty.
Dick and balls and titties and slit.
I found out what makes a dick stink.
Bacteria.
I've heard, pretty much. But it's got a name.
Dick bacteria.
It's called smegma.
I've heard that name. I've heard that word a bunch, but I never actually knew what it was.
Yeah, apparently it's like a film that'll build up in your foreskin and shit. What's that say? Dick cheese?
That is both icky and pooey.
Yeah, man. You gotta wash that thing. But yeah, it's called smegma. It's like a secretion of like oils and dead skin and shit like that. Just dead dick shit all over your dick. All over your live dick.
Riveting. And very...
You know that scene in Walking Dead where they're like, we gotta walk among the dead. How do we do this? And they're like, let's cut up a bunch of zombies and like just smear ourselves and dead body fluids, and they did. That's sort of what smegma is. It's like
just dead dick fluids,
pretending to have a zombie dick.
And you get that from not washing after you jerk in your gherkin.
I guess. I mean, I think you get it more often if you're uncircumcised.
That seems to be possible, especially if it's involving foreskin.
Right, because everything's, you know, hidden away.
Yeah, tucked away in a nice little satchel.
It's your dick pouch.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm circumcised, so I only have a ball sack.
Right.
But if I were uncircumcised, I would have both a dick and a ball sack.
Yeah.
Sack for each.
That's a hot topic for some people too. Circumcision.
That's a weird, because like female circumcision, we can all agree like that's fucked.
Yeah.
Like that's fucked up. But male circumcision, keep it clean.
It's pretty normal. Yeah.
I don't really have to fight dick cheese. It's not an issue. I
guess that obviously. I guess the obvious answer to that is to wash yourself. To be fair, that's a good answer to that.
Well, I mean, there's a big contingent there is a obnoxious contingent.
A very loud.
Yes. That is very anti male circumcision. They consider it like a form of genital mutilation, snipping some foreskin off. And they've got a decent argument for it.
I mean, they do.
Like a young boy, you can't consent to that. But I don't want to do that shit now that I'm an adult, and I totally would.
Right?
Because I like having a circumcised dick. This shit is awesome.
Yeah, and especially, if you're in a part of the world like this where it's super common, what happens when you get to be about that age where you have sex for the first time, and you pull your dick out, and all this girl's ever seen is a few porns?
Yeah, you got to pull your dick out.
Maybe she's got a handful of dick pics, and she's like, what the fuck is that? That weird sleeve on your dick.
You got to roll it down.
And it's just...
You got work to do. Roll up that sleeve.
And then she just nopes out of that situation.
I don't know, man. On the other hand, there seems to be plenty of uncircumcised dudes that have no trouble whatsoever.
That's true. I think partially that's also because people are just more aware and better educated about lots of things now.
I mean, there was a time where nobody got circumcised.
Yeah, because that's just how you come out. Of course, a lot of that has to do with religious stuff.
Right.
That's where it started.
Well, who figured that out? Who figured that shit out?
Who
was the dude? Who was the dude that had this baby and was like, oh, you know what? Bet if I cut that shit off right there, keep clean. Let's test this.
I don't know. You have to ask a Jewish person.
Practiced on some...
Ask Ben Shapiro.
You think... But do you think that Jews are the ones that invented circumcision?
They're the ones I always heard talk of when it came to circumcision.
Well, they blah blah about it an awful lot.
Well, I assumed that they invented it. I don't know.
Well, there's probably were some
this would also
indigenous peoples of America's tribes,
right?
God, it's so much easier to say Indians.
Some people prefer that.
What, Indian? I don't doubt it. Native American, even. I'll go with that. I'm fine with that, but. Indigenous peoples of America is just fuck off, dude. Come on.
I could say that's a little. I
got shit to do.
I could say that's
saying words all day.
I could say that's a little wordy, but who knows? Maybe I'm just Maybe I'm just being a boomer.
Native American Indian.
I think that's getting the words a little crass, but
I'm pretty sure I can say it.
You can say it.
I can say it
because you's 1/16.
One drop rule, bud.
One drop. Well, then count me in, bud.
White is so easy to dilute.
Right? It just... One drop and it just dissipates.
White it's such a weak gene. It is easily overwhelmed.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's probably some Indians that were slicing dick. Probably.
Maybe. I mean, they did all kinds of stuff.
I've never seen any old Indian porn. Like the Romans.
Old Indian porn.
Well, you laugh, but hear me out.
I'm listening.
So
Never mind. I figured out who invented circumcision, and it was Abraham. According to Genesis, God told Abraham to circumcise himself, his household, and his slaves, as an everlasting covenant in their flesh.
Woo! That man had conviction. Woo! He circumcised himself.
Yeah.
That was...
you
think he probably did everybody else first. And then
you think he did that before or after he was told to sacrifice Isaac? I mean, God took Abraham to the wall.
I mean, well, yeah. Cut your dick off and kill your son.
Which one did he have a harder time with?
Fuck. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question, too. Which one the Bible doth not say. But yeah, what you think, your Abraham was like, hey, chop off this part of your dick and also everybody else in your house. Do you think, so he probably is like, okay, you're God. I was going to kill my kid. It's probably the same son, too. He's like, hey, come here. God, tell me some other shit. This kid was the first atheist.
Right?
Like, fuck God. and thus Luciferianism was born.
Holy shit.
Like, fuck the God of the Jews. It's like killing me and cutting my dick off. That one wasn't a fake. I don't know.
Holy fuck, dude.
I bet like 6 months later he was totally cool with it though. But it was like, shit, this keep clean.
You're alright, God.
I ain't had that smegma in a while. Fucking smegma. I had never heard that word before today. Like, I'm going to pick my kid up from school, driving through, and listening to a bit on smegma.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So is that it? Is that sex?
I think that's pretty much it. I think we have pretty much discussed everything that has to do with sex. You guys can put it to bed now, all right? Sex is it's in the past.
Yeah.
We have, like, both wrote and edited the book on it. It's closed. You can just refer to this whenever you have any questions.
There's really nothing more to know about it. We pretty much answered any question you might have, except the gay stuff. You guys,
yeah, we'll come back on the gay stuff. Even that still has some parallels. It go in, it go out. Be careful when it come out the spout.
Yeah, that. Put stuff on your stuff before you put it in stuff. Take pills, and
always say please first.
Yeah, and say please. Yeah,
and thank you.
Have you ever said thank you after sex?
You know, now that I think about it, I don't know if I have.
I have.
Maybe I should start.
I have almost every time. I'm like, thank you. Because I know, like, I wouldn't fuck me. so I was like, thank you. That was a great thing that you did.
It's a great experience. Thank you. I'm glad that we could share that.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
I'm not surprised because we're already that guy with the long hair and the guitar.
That dude, we're always selfish lovers, though. We got to get back to tuning our guitars. Oh man, I think we nailed it.
I think we did. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate you, and like I said, hopefully we'll have this available on other platforms, so maybe you can download it and don't have to just have YouTube open. You can just listen to it off whatever app we can get on, and we appreciate you, and we'll catch you later. Peace!
Peace.